All right. We're good to go.
Okay, let me just move this away. Okay, everybody, thank you for coming to the again. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for us just a second. We want to avoid situations like last week where we had a couple of issues with the live feed. So as I said, thank you everybody. We have a lot to show today, different from last week where we were launching. If you can mute Garrett, I'm gonna. There you go. Different from last week where we were just launching a new product, and that was advanced feeding. We're going to show a little bit of advanced feeding today, but we are not going to focus only on that because July has been a very, very productive month in terms of all the features that we have been launching. And also August, you will be surprised when you see all what we have already deployed recently and what we are about to deploy. So as I said, these webinars have the goal of these webinars is just to catch up with the latest with Cutler, what's being worked on, and also have an opportunity for questions about any of what we are developing or have released or whatever you want to ask us directly. So the agenda is the same as always in the structure. Is what's new in the latest updates. We had like strong updates in July and in August the 6th, and what's in store for the following updates and plural, and then a moment for questions and feedback. So if you look at the agenda from all what we have been releasing recently, there's a lot of stuff here, and some of that I'll show it. I'll just briefly comment. Some of that I'll show it on the presentation. Some of that I'll just show it live on the app. But just to give you like a sense, during July we have been releasing some of the all of like the first 6 points that are not highlighted, and these are many different features on top of also some fixes that we always do, but I wanted to give you like a sense of some of the main things. Then in August we launched all the advanced feeding package, which are still on a free mode for testing, for people to test. It's released for everybody, and for the one more week we will be releasing it for free, and then for the people that want to onboard on this, you can let us know, and the rest probably will be deactivated. So as far as July, it's all things that are for everybody on the most on any version. Load and drop ordering improvements, as you might know or you might have noticed, over the last couple of months, there was people that was asking us to be able to drag and drop the order numbers on the load and drop page. We did so, but then other people asked us to send to the bottom the orders that were already executed for the day. So that created a little bit of conflict, and then in July we came up with a mix of both, so that you can like order in the way you want, but also whenever you execute it, it goes down to the bottom, and that's very handy. We hadn't noticed that, like, so many people consider that a good feature up until we changed it, and we had a lot of a lot of claims. So um, we did that. I think we got the best of both worlds. On the same line, there was some people that there is some people that has like orders with a lot of pens. So at the beginning we did like a summary where we put plus on, I don't know, above certain amount of pens, since it didn't fit in the one or two rows, we would put it like plus 10. But then some people that were really using it asked us for, I don't know, some way to be able to check it without having to get into the order. So we created this like expand hyperlink where you can just quickly see on the same page all the rest of the pens. And I think that way we also got a these are like small stuff that is, I don't know, it's important because especially for people that are using the app every day on a daily basis. Um, another in other side of the app, on the load closeout, we added a filter. So it's not about the filter. It's about the fact that when you're checking your lots, if you have lots where you have already closed a piece of the lot, but the lot is still there, you can now check the closeout, the live closeout, um, the same thing that you had before, like the projected total closeout, including the animals that are there and the animals that are not there anymore. Now you can pick between the whole closeout, the ones, only the ones that you have already sold, and the remainder. So you have like more flexibility to see how's the business going for every piece of every lot. So that's cool. Another improvements that we did recently was when we changed and we improved the yard sheet section with all these buttons and shortcuts and on new charts and everything. We did so on the um, on the tablet and web version, but we did not update that into the cell phone version. So basically, this is just equalizing uh, that the design of the mobile yard sheet and making it similar to the tablet and the web version. We also um, we also added a new thing, which is we think it's a big, and it's a big thing. So far, up until July, if you were to if you are the feed manager, and if you were to give permissions to different people for accessing different kind of stuff according to the role that you define for them, the level of granularity of access was just on a per section basis. I would like to show you that because I think it's worth it. So now, if you go to users and roles and you define the roles, you will see that you can have much more depth into what each of the profiles can have access to. So bank score, delivery plan, like especially in the feeding side, is much more granular. So you can give a driver access only to bank score and load and drop, but not to the feeding log or the delivery plan. Also, and the same goes for cattle management. You can go and he have access to the lot plan and the feeding protocols now with this new package, uh, or the whole cattle management, or and just that and not cattle management. So that that should help uh, in terms of privacy and on data management, the especially the feeder manager to control more what different people has access to. So that's rolling as well. Um, we did some some improvements in the cell phone version of health treatment, where some people were asking us to have it all in one page instead of having to switch back between different, like with different buttons, having it all in the same page roll. And we did so, and that was like really appreciated already by some people. And that was like all July, and on top of some fixes that we already do. And then the last part of July and August, and in August, we're still halfway through August. On like about a week ago, a little bit more than that, 9 days ago, we launched a new uh, package which is called advanced feeding, and that we think that is really relevant in terms of what allows the the feeder manager to do, because we're moving from, and I'm going faster because there was another um, day, and there's another video focused on this, but basically we gave feeding much more power, where this was what we would do before: ration, delivery plan, load and drop, all manual, and the lot plan kind of disconnected from all this. And we went into this world where we incorporated the concept of the feeding protocols. We and you where you can create the complete journey of every animal across the his life cycle within the feed yard, uh, and store those feeding protocols, and then apply them on a per lot basis. And then Cutler with that automatically updates all the pens of every delivery, of every lot, for all the delivery plan, and keeps track, and like follows the every piece of that lot across the different pens, and reprograms automatically all the delivery plans. And then optionally, you can also automate the load and drop batching, like the creation and the update of every load and drop. Um, that is the, like, I would say, one of the coolest things and the most dangerous at the same time, in the sense that affects directly the logistics. So we are now working a little bit on giving you some parameters as to what is that you want to, like, on a settings section, as to how you want those orders to be done. There's now like a version 1 working, but it has some constraints that for some people are good and for some people are bad. So it's a big thing. I don't know, like all the feeding protocol by cattle type, the concept of cattle type, the ration step ups with snooze alerts that will appear on the yard sheet and on the bank score. The lot feeding schedule with, it gives you anticipated costs. Being able to define the capacity of the mixer on a per ration basis, depending on how much dry matter it has. So it tops up differently a mixer depending on what you're putting in it. The auto generation on the delivery plan, the auto generation button for the load and drop, and also the batch automatic adjustment, so that if you're under feeding and then and drop one of a certain pen, if you want, the app will compensate the second the target for the second load. I think I need to mute somebody else. So that it completes the goal for the day, helps you complete the goal for the day. Just this is how it looks. It is already live, so you can check it out either here on or on the app if you want, like later today. So you have the different schedules, so you can define. It's basically a sequence of what's going to happen to a certain group of animal, depending on, I don't know, how you prefer to work. So I don't know, you will define, for instance, I don't know, 15 days of this dry matter, this ration, divided in 1 or 2 drops, 70%. And so all these switches in between steps will be done automatically by Cutler and will let you know in case you want to snooze it. And it also gives you those costs in advance, so you can help you to, or your nutritionist, to design that or adjust that feeding protocol, and then you apply it onto your lot plan on a per lot basis. You create it and you can adjust it on a per lot basis, and also because you have more information on the lot basis, it gives you even more information anticipated of what's going to be the future costs of that program. And then of course it automatically fills all your pens involved in the lots where you have defined the plan. One parenthesis here is regarding the mixer. So now you have like the ability on top of the maximum capacity, which is like a general overall capacity. You can define like a limit capacity per diet. So that helps the load and drop auto generate order button to know that for certain mixers they cannot go further than the certain limit when it comes to a certain ration. So this is like in a nutshell all what we have deployed over the last month and a half. What we are going and we are working on deploying in the next few days and the next few weeks. Not all is going to be the release at the same time. So you have seen before all this list on all the things that we want to go, I don't know, in the future months, and these are like the things that are getting into our lens, and we have certain level of progress. The things that are like the first one and big one is already done, regardless of certain improvements that we might do. But now we're focusing on helping custom feeders in having a good like account management section with receivables and billing and statements and improved invoices, because there's people that have been also giving us suggestions on how to improve the invoices, and the first report on profit or markup. Then also improvements in bank score, which is something that we were kind of owing. We had it for launch a couple of months ago, and then we further improved that, and it just got delayed. And there will be a strong improvement on the animal health, not only section, but all the parts of the app where animal health has certain role. And this is where I would like to focus a little bit. So as far as account management goes, so we will be adding this new subsection in administration, which is called billing and accounts, where you will be, that one has two different tabs, billing and accounts, of course. In billing, as if you're a custom feeder, you will be able to see like an overall snapshot of all the invoices that are there that you have already sent, the ones that have been paid, the ones that have been unpaid, or the ones have been like due or overdue, and the list of invoices. So you can add a payment. Of course, many people will say, hey, like, is there any automatic way to add a payment and connecting to QuickBooks? Yes, that will be not in this first version, but this is the step that allows us as a following step to connect with different ERPs, so that green add payment button it's refreshed automatically through this API. So that was like the intermediary step to be able to connect with QuickBooks, for instance, just to give like a very big example. This and also the supply management section improvements that we have planned. So in the account section, you will have accounting of all your accounts, So instead of the bills of the invoices, you see your account, your customers. You have like a general snapshot of all the lots that are there, how much money you have there that they are spending, regardless of whether you have invoiced them or not. So you know like how much of you have receivable, and it's on the street on an updated basis. Um, if you tap into any of these owners accounts, you get deeper, and you can see here some general economics of about this ranch, um, and then also a snapshot of the invoices, the situation of his invoice, his payments, and below that a statement, like a live statement on all the
Can
events
we
related
help
to the
with
account.
the same file going up in home there?
Excuse me, say again.
I think his mic was just on as he joined in
Okay.
and turned off.
Okay, no worries. So, and you will have that for the overview, and also for the general expenses of this account, and for the green bank. Then from the general section, you will be able to add like a new account, which today is an owner. So an owner would be an account. So there's a little bit of overlap there. Probably will take the owners and vendors and divide it into just owners. You can create a new account, you can create a new payment, or you can create a new invoice, which is basically the same as going to bill as today works on the cattle management section. But this is like a more logical place to create an invoice. So if you create a new payment, I don't know, we are trying to make it like, even if you're in a manual version where you're not yet connected with any ERP, to make it as simple as possible. You're just, I don't know, like we pre-fill the value if you want the value of the invoice. I don't know, you tap it in, and if you don't put nothing, we just pre-fill it. There's a couple of options on how that was paid, and the next step immediately is the API, is the interface with this accounting software. Another thing that is coming, there will be a first version, like probably this or next week, very quick, just at the downloadable CSV version of this profit report. Not yet this, but this is coming right after. Where you will be able, you also as a custom feeder, you will be able to see your markup and profit as a custom feeder, as a like service provider. Right after that, we will create another profit report for the cattle side of the business. Many people have that integrated in the same operation, but many people are owners of the whole cattle, and there's people that don't. So either for one or the other case, like this is like an owner basis. No, not this one. Like the ones that I'm telling you about right after, will have the I don't know, revenues and costs and profitability of the cattle business itself. Together with, along with the account management system, not in this next release, but the one after, you will have the statement, account statement live right now, but these documents, like PDF type of documents, will come right after, where you can just print out the same things that you have in the version 1 of account management, so that you can print it out and just send it to your customer to the extent that you want to share it. On the invoice side, we are unifying the designs into one only expendable type of invoice. You will have a little bit of performance metrics that you don't have yet today. specified for, in the same way that you see the closeout, but this is for a specific owner and a specific period, and then the period charges, where you will be able to expand or reduce on the feed and bed costs, basically, because some people want to show more and some people wants to show less. We are updating as well the livestock inventory PDF report and the yard sheet PDF report. So with suggestions of different farmers that want to see it in ways that they're used to.
Ignacio, there's a
Yes.
question in the chat from Elisa saying if we will be adding statements in the future.
Yes, that's exactly what I was showing just a moment ago. Here, account statement. So you will be able to give your customer an activity and balance statement so that it matches like the payments and the invoices that were emitted, and also a charges report where it goes deeper and says like and accounts for some of the activities that generated that invoice or any invoice, including grain bank. So it's like it's like if the charges report is embedded within the account statement through the invoice. So yeah, that's coming very fast. Thank you for the question, Elisa. So this report, and just to give you an update on pricing, and I think it also gives you a little bit of sense of evolution on the pricing. So far we are working with for the most part of our life as a company, we began with a license that it was called feeding. Then we changed it name to feeder, and we included some other stuff. We updated the price, as you know, as many of you know, and then we added other add-ons like animal health and shoot, with different added prices. So last year we added animal health and shoot. Early this year we added interface with the micro machines, each one with its own cost. We just added advanced feeding, and that's the cost of like per month of adding that. So each one can pick and choose what they want and just maximize and personalize the use of the app to the extent that they want. Probably we will add account management with a different value, and very soon we will launch another Feeder Pro license, which is equivalent to the feeder and puts together some of the stuff in the middle. So let's say that you want everything, so you won't be paying just the addition of everything here, but a convenient price on a bundle. So both feeder and feeder pro are bundles, and all the ones in the middle are like add-ons. So this is how it works, and we are like evolving on our pricing. As you can see on the right, for the Feeder Pro, there are things that are already there, but there are still things that we haven't yet launched. For instance, the advanced inventory management, certain advanced reports and alerts. But for the rest, like with account management is already there. Well, will be already there perhaps next week, hopefully. Advanced feeding is there, compound interest is there, grain bank is there, and access for customers is there. So there's many things. So once we get also advanced inventory management, we'll be able to just release this bundle. But it's just a bundle. It doesn't change any of the contents that are being released right now. One thing that will probably get later in the year, very late in the year, is a full analytics section. I think before that, we will begin to launch more cow-calf and pasture features. So yeah, that's a little bit how this is rolling. Any questions or feedback? We're open for any questions you may have.
There was a question that says, do you plan to integrate ancestral or genetic background program into this eventually?
Yes, absolutely. When I'm talking about the cow-calf, features, I'm talking about like the very first thing will be creating the concept. Well, allowing relationships between calves and certain bulls and cows, allowing origin information on a per individual basis and a per lot basis, so that and genetic information, phenotypic information, things that are even if they're not genetic or phenotypical, that are pertaining to the origin of this lot, that allows me to make a decision. Then creating the concept of birth, so you can put together a cow and a bull and give birth to a calf within the app. Then certain reproduction aspects of animal health, and all the pasture management section related to cow-calf, because mostly except for all the grow yards, and even many of the grow yards, there's a season where they send cattle to pasture, so being able to put it all together in the same ecosystem. We do beef cattle genetics. So there's another question. We do feed beef cattle genetics as a seed stock producer and sell 450 bulls or more per year. Will you have something that can keep track of customers and purchases of those as well? Yes, to a certain extent. That is like a very marginal added cost of the entries subsection in the lot management. So we could add some fields to I think the main point here is whenever we add cow-calf operation features, we will have to divide certain profiles of users. So if you're mainly a cow-calf that also has feeding, you'll probably feed into a certain license with certain things that were others that don't make too much sense. So we'll try to optimize the app so that you have things that make sense to you and you're not underutilizing things that you will never use because you're not, I don't know, a finisher feedlot. Or even if you're like a pure cow, like pasture cow-calf operation, you might not need to have access to the whole feeding section, and you're just on pasture. So that's how a little bit this grows. I don't know if I'm responding to your question, but it's a blurry yes. Any other questions out there? I don't know, you can either write in them or just unmute you and just make a question. Can a rancher's individual data be shared with me individually? Oh yeah. One of the things, yeah, absolutely. EID, he says. One of the things that this platform is very versatile is to be able to, on a peer-to-peer basis, I don't know, the same way that we did implemented the Elanco benchmark program. So each one is owner of its own data, but if you want to for certain specific purposes receive with the permission of the sender or provide specific pieces of information, we will like from our architecture allows that, but we have to what we have to do is just put in place certain specific functionalities to share that information. But yes, like the platform is perfectly capable to do so. It's just the time that takes us to on a by demand basis to create this specific flows, bilateral flows of information. But everything requires a lot of not a lot, but a certain permission authorization. Another question, will you be able to import Excel data on the CAUCAF side? Probably yes, we will have to, because we have seen already that there's a whole range of people that have the data already stored in Excels. And we, in fact, already today, we upload Excel files like in the form of CSVs. So we already do that for certain purposes. We will be very incentivized to try to help people digitize or transfer data from Excel files. Yes. I think it's good that we're having these questions, because they'll kind of confirm the things that we're thinking about releasing. Any other questions or comments? Anything that you liked or that you didn't like or that you did not understand? Okay, we start with Cadler next week, so I'm pretty new to it. Welcome to the family. Can you export an Excel file if of ones you treat? I think we have already a feature that let me I think if you go to reports, there's health treatments and you can download it on an Excel file. Yes, you can. You already can. Okay, I think if that's everything, thank you for
You have one last question, Ignacio, there.
Oh, okay, sorry. Does anyone have interest in a task section or calendar that everyone at the figure has access to? Well, it sounds like a question for other farmers in this chat. So, task management wise, we have already designed something. So I just want to show that. Am I sharing
You're sharing the reports page with
okay,
the
okay.
health treatments. I think that what the question goes to, I think we've talked about it in the past, is if the manager wants to set up tasks for people in the morning when they get to the yard, they open up the dashboard and they have everybody's tasks there ready for them to go. Basically, I think we've talked about this if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so just to let you know how it looks, this is in Spanish, so you need to understand it, but this is like beginnings of a task management where somebody that it's an operator has like their book note and receive tasks. So it wouldn't be difficult because each one has its alert section and we can personalize those alerts. It's not like now in the pipeline, but this is something that technologically, of course, we can do. Probably along with the pasture management section, when you want somebody to move animals between paddocks or even at the yard, we could do that. Like we just need to make sure that we find many interested people so that they that we feel the need. So if you get more people to to buy in on this idea, we're more happy to work on that. Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you for showing up. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. Let's go for more. Thank you very much.